Star cornerback Jaylon Johnson has spoken about the contract situation with the Chicago Bears. Hello, everyone. I'm Andy here with Chicago Bears React, bringing you all of the Chicago Bears news you're seeking, both during the season and now here in the off season. Before we dive into today's story, please take a moment and like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Make sure you don't miss anything we're talking about on this channel. There's going to be a lot of news over the next several months, and you're not going to want to miss a thing. Now, we've spoken previously on this channel about the current situation with cornerback Jaylon Johnson. Jaylon just completed the final year of his rookie deal and is a free agent. This comes on the heels of him being rated the top cornerback in the NFL according to Pro Football Focus in 2024. He had a career year, both in terms of interceptions and also in terms of opponent passer rating, which he led the NFL in. And so I think it's probably not too much of a stretch to say Jaylon is the best player currently on the Chicago Bears. He certainly played like it. I know a lot of people love what DJ Moore did, and it's exciting, especially in comparison to previous wide receivers on the Chicago Bears. But Jaylon Johnson is the only true player the Bears have that is like at that kind of elite, best of the best in the NFL level. And so the real question is, what's going on? Why hasn't a deal gotten done? And there's been a lot of speculation about this, but recently Jaylon spoke about this. And according to Jaylon's own words, he said, quote, "My heart's definitely in Chicago. My mind's definitely on the money. We'll figure out if we can make them both come together." That's pretty cryptic. He has said in previous statements that he wants to stay in Chicago. I think Ryan Poles has been pretty clear that he wants to keep Jaylon in Chicago. So the question is, why isn't a deal getting done? Because you would think, all right, this is your best player. You've got cap money to spend. The Bears could have as much as $60+ million in cap space available to them this offseason. Why wouldn't you allocate some of that toward cornerback? And so, one thing that we probably want to take a quick look at is what would that cost? So Jaylon Johnson has spoken and made it clear that he wants to be a top-paid cornerback. And so, you look at what that ends up being, that's about $20 million a year. So to be the number one to be paid like that number one corner, you're looking at $21 million a year. There's he's probably looking at wanting a certain amount of guarantees. I would expect he wants to see north of $30 million in guarantees, depending on the deal. So let's say he goes after a 4-year, $80 million contract. He's probably going to want $40-50 million in guarantees. He's going to want at least a few of those years guaranteed. Why wouldn't he? He's put up elite numbers. He has played like a true professional. He's been a stud on that defense. He wants to get paid. And so, the Bears, on the other hand, you'd think, why would they want to drag their feet? What could they possibly benefit from not just re-signing him? And I think some of that is the fact that the franchise tag is available. And so if you take a look at what the franchise tag nets, right here, the estimated, you can see here in the top line for cornerback, the tag is going to be somewhere in the $18 million range. And so at the end of the day, if they franchise tag him, which has its risks, don't get me wrong, but if they franchise tag him, it's going to cost less. And so they do have kind of a year to kind of call him on his bluff and say, look, $20 million is a bit steep. Can you come down? Otherwise, we're just going to tag you. I don't think there's a chance he plays for another team next season, unless the Bears agree to just sign and trade. I think it's far more likely that he plays on the tag, if not a deal getting done. I still believe a deal is going to get done. I think it could be as much as 5 years. I think he's worth it. If we take a look here, according to Pro Football Reference, he's still 24 years young. This is a very young player. He will be. He will ultimately be 25 when the next season opens. But this is somebody who you could sign to a 4-year deal, and he's not going to drop off. Usually you see like a big cornerback drop off when they hit 30, but you could sign him to a 4 or 5 year deal, and like the last season is going to be his 30th year. And so I don't see a reason why you wouldn't want to sign him to, let's say, like a 5-year, $100 million deal with 4 years guaranteed. That feels kind of safe to me in a lot of ways. You're basically betting on You're going to pay him during his prime and his prime alone. At the end of the day, cornerback is one of those blue chip positions, right? One of those premier positions. It's not like linebacker. It's not like running back. This is a position you pay people. And so the Bears have arguably one of the best corners in the league. You don't let people like that out the door. And so I'm hoping the deal gets done. I'm hoping that this isn't going to be dragged out. It's not going to, end up in some kind of camp holdout. But we'll see. So what do you think? Do you think Jaylon is worth being paid like the top corner in the NFL, or do you think that the Bears should continue to call him on his bluff and try to get him for cheaper? Let me know in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. And as always, bear down.